Welcome to The Christian Statesman. I'm your host, Zach Wagner, and this is episode 15, Liberty and Responsibility. It is fair to say that America is the most significant ongoing experiment in personal liberty in history. Our Constitution and the legal and social framework it creates presupposes a level of personal liberty that is unprecedented in history. With this level of liberty, or free will, we have the ability to choose and participate in a number of behaviors without government interference. This includes how we work, where we live, how we worship, and what opinions we might choose to have or give. But an even greater presupposition in this framework is that of personal responsibility. The underlying assumption is that once given such liberty, we must use that liberty in positive ways to maintain it. When we choose to use our freedoms to engage in behaviors that are non-productive, unenlightening, or just plain harmful, we can bring about consequences that may ultimately restrict our abilities to act freely in the future. For example, if your neighbor buys a new car and you decide that his car is better than yours and you would rather drive that car, you are free to take your neighbor's car one day and try to claim it as your own. You are not free, however, to avoid the consequences of being arrested and charged with grand theft auto, and you may not be free for some time to come as you serve time for that offense. You're also free to spend your time in any manner possible. If you spend the majority of your free time watching sports contests or reality TV shows, you probably will not be able to participate in a debate over the legal and historical foundations of modern free market systems, or the origins of the Second Amendment, or the meaning of the New Testament. If you choose to use your time to study such issues, then you might have acquired some knowledge to be able to communicate coherently about them. You may choose to use your freedom to eat nothing but donuts and cheesecake for your main daily meals, but you will not be free to avoid the physical consequences of being grossly overweight or having your main arteries clogged and losing function. With every choice comes consequence. We are free to make our choices. We are not at liberty to determine the full consequences of those choices. Ignorance and sloth are the most dangerous adversaries of liberty. If we choose to use our freedom to entertain ourselves or indulge only in base pleasures, we create a dynamic that restricts us from future possibilities. Only when we choose to improve ourselves physically, spiritually, and intellectually is the freedom we are given properly applied. When it comes to our economy and government, it is up to each of us individually to be well informed and cognizant of the relevant issues at hand. If we are to have any voice in our self-determination at a local city, state, or federal government level, we must both know the issues and demand accountability from those representing us. Like so many other aspects of our lives, we seem to have abrogated those responsibilities to someone else. Thus, we are in a position to find ourselves in the situation we have now, where competing voices that do not agree at all are attempting to convince us who is right and who is wrong in our governance. If we are to avoid a complete breakdown of our system, we must become informed of all the relevant issues and demand transparency and accountability from those we have elected. This is an unavoidable responsibility we have as citizens. Our future freedom depends on our principled engagement. So far, we are hearing two very different stories. Which one is factual? Time will certainly tell, but it is up to us to vote with our voices, our pocketbooks, and every other free method we may have to demand the facts from those who claim to represent us or inform us. Only in this way, being accountable and demanding accountability, can we ultimately preserve our liberties. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe and enjoy our future broadcasts.